Welcome everybody to Adams Polish's weekly live video. Today we're actually doing a video that was requested a few weeks ago by some people watching, and it was about the Adams interior cleaning gun, which is this guy right here. Really kind of unique tool. I think like the OG tool that like most people have probably heard of, especially like if you're a detailer, would be called a tornador. That was kind of the it was the tool of choice when we first stumbled upon it. Tornador is definitely like the OG product, and we were like, you know what, we really like this tool, everyone here, and so we were like, you know what, we want to make one from Adams to offer our customers that, you know, DIY people have access to, and they can enjoy the benefits of something like this interior cleaning gun. So today I'm going to go through, talk about how to set it up, also just kind of get our car back looking good. I don't know, Chris, if you can show them, but up here it's really dusty. It's kind of hard to see, but this is just, it's like really filthy dusty. The nav screen has fingerprints and looks like someone tried to clean this with water almost. And you can just see how much dust is all around this. And then when you even look into the seats, there's just dust and nastiness kind of stuck everywhere. So, you know, a car that may be neglected might be a car that has, you know, kids that you just, there's no way around not having a dirty interior if you have kids or you have a busy life, you know. So you can see even up here, like on the steering wheel, there's some like dirt that's kind of stuck, starting to get stuck on the areas where we drive. Just very common looking dirtiness on this car. Even over here, there's some sunscreen that you can see as well. So what I'm going to do is go through and talk about how to get this looking good. You'll see a transformation in here, and really I'm just going to be using a few different products, nothing too insane, and I'm going to talk about that. Now if you're live on here, again, this is a great opportunity to ask questions. Anything you guys want to know about cleaning interior, cleaning anything like that, just let me know. And what we'll do is just, you know, get this thing back dialed, use some Adams Polish's products, and just go through some tips and tricks while we do it. So if you're watching, thank you for watching, welcome, and here we go. So I have a few different things here. So obviously the Adams interior cleaning gun. Now this is a pretty, it looks like a foam cannon. You know, it has the canister at the bottom. You can take this off, and it has a straw with the weighted thing. So like no matter where you tip it, it's always gonna pull the solution. It has, if you look inside here, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a straw inside here. There's the straw there. Yeah, if I move it a little bit, you can kind of see it fall around. But essentially what happens is this gets connected to an air compressor, and when you pull the trigger, that straw flips around and it creates this burst of air that's not direct. It kind of moves it around. So agitates any dust that's kind of sitting in certain areas, and it also will pull a solution out of here. And probably one of the number one questions we get is, what do you put inside of this canister to use to clean? There's a few different options, and it sort of depends on the job you're doing. All right, so if you need to deep clean an interior, the leather and interior cleaner is going to be the best product for deep cleaning interior, all the hard surfaces. Granted, this won't work on carpeted areas, but it works amazing on vinyl, leather, plastic, rubber, all of that stuff, right? So in this car, there's leather, there's plastic, there's vinyl. This has a ton of sort of hard surfaces, non-carpeted or non-upholstered surfaces. This is going to be a really great option for me, especially for deep cleaning, all right? But total interior cleaner is also a really great option because it also cleans kind of everything as well. It's not as powerful as a leather and interior cleaner, but this is what I would recommend putting inside of your cleaning gun. Total interior cleaner by far is the best option. So That's why I have this here. And what I like to do, I'll just take the sprayer or whatever's on top, and this is a Total Interior Cleaner is a ready to use formula. I don't need to dilute this at all. So I'll just take this and I'll pour the whole bottle in here. Now I think this is a 32-ounce canister that the interior cleaning gun comes with. So you could probably do 2 full bottles of the Total Interior Cleaner. I'm just gonna do 1 for now. And we're gonna attach the top gun portion of it. And what Chris is gonna do while he films, he's gonna multitask. He's gonna hand me the air source from our air compressor, and it connects right here at the base of the gun here, okay? Now,
is that like a standard quick connect?
Yeah, this is, I mean, if you have an air compressor, most air compressors come with this quick disconnect on here. I mean, I don't know if there is one that doesn't have that. So, yeah, I'll just connect to standard air compressor here. And there's also a little valve here, all right? So this valve is gonna control how much solution is being pulled in and shot out of the gun. So I think right now I just wanna make sure I'm gonna pull the trigger and I'm gonna point it at my hand to see if there is no solution or moisture coming out of it. So then what I'll do is I'll start dialing this up. So I imagine if I put this straight up and down, it's gonna be full power bringing out as much of the solution out as possible. I'm gonna just start dialing it about halfway. Then we'll start seeing, so just a little bit's coming out. I don't know if there's a good way to represent this, but maybe if I shoot it right here at this, you can see there's a little bit of solution that comes out. There's just not enough right now. I'm mainly using air. It's just a touch of moisture. So I'm gonna dial it up even further. So remember, this is 0. I'm more at like 3/4 here. Let's see how much more comes out. That's better. That's a little bit more. Now, the reason why there's a dial on here or something that you can regulate how much solution is gonna pull for 2 reasons. Number 1, more of the cleaning solution you use, the more powerful the cleaning is gonna be, all right? The other thing is, if you run this full blast, it's gonna pull a ton of solution out of here, and the formula that's inside the canister will run out faster. You'll have to keep refilling it. So when you dial it back, it's kind of like when I use a foam cannon, I pour mega foam all the way in. I don't dilute it at all. I pour a whole 16-ounce bottle into my canister of my foam cannon, and then at the top of the foam cannon, there's a dial that you can tell the foam cannon how much solution you want to pull out of it. I dial that all the way back so it doesn't pull any soap solution out, and then I start turning it till I get to the point of the actual foam thickness that I want, and then I just leave it there. It's the same concept of this. If I need to do extra cleaning power, I'm gonna put this full blast. But if I just want to do some standard cleaning, I'll put this either at half or 3/4, which I think because of how dirty this car is, I'm gonna go 3/4, all right? And what I like to use this for is more of the cracks and crevices, all right? And I don't necessarily like to use this as like a standard gun. Like, I'm not gonna try to blast these flat surfaces with the interior cleaning gun. So what I like to do is focus on the nooks and crannies first, because I'm gonna get all of that out. And then once I get all of that out, then I'll go through, well, there's a couple ways to do this. If I'm doing deep cleaning and I'm using the leather and interior cleaner like this, all right, what I'll do is I can just blast my car down. Like so, okay? I just blast it down even into all the stuff, and then I'll take my edgeless utility towel and I'll start cleaning all the broad surfaces like so. Now what I can't do with my towel and the leather and interior cleaner is get inside of all the vents and everything. But what I'll do is I'll blast it down.
Mark Dressel says, does that cleaning gun replace the need for a steamer when cleaning nooks and crannies of your dash buttons and controls?
It doesn't take the place. It's just a different style of tool, Mark. So the interior cleaning gun is sort of like what I'm kind of showing here is that I'm just blasting down with a lot of the leather and interior cleaner. And I'm not worried if it gets into the nooks and crannies right now, because what I can do after is use the power of the compressed air to then blast. I'm actually going to dial this back even more, because I want to use the power of the air to blast the leather and interior cleaner solution out of all the cracks and crevices that I just blasted it into with the sprayer. So this is sort of a tool of like cleaning, but also I like to do the broad surfaces first and blast everything down like this, because even if it gets inside of these nooks and crannies, I can take the compressed air and I can blast it almost like I'm using it almost as like a mini air cannon while I blast too much solution into the nooks and crannies. And then if I get into here where I couldn't clean, then I'll just dial this up to get cleaning solution on. So it's like this. I'll just dial this up and then I'll use it with the actual cleaning solution. Blast it in there, wipe it down, blast it off, and it just gets all the nooks and crannies. A steamer, like, see how much of the leather interior cleaner solution's coming out of it? It's like I'm using it as an air cannon, okay? So that's sort of one way to use this. And again, when I'm using the Adams interior cleaning gun, I'm using it in a combination with other products. I don't just use this by itself, all right? And I tend to have this with me when I'm doing, you know, a more aggressive cleaning job, because again, I can just take this, blast everything, and then use this to get it out of the nooks and crannies. And then, you know, when I'm trying to clean specific areas and I don't want to blast it, then I can just take this, spray it into the actual towel, and then do the cleaning in the areas I want to do.
Can you dilute any of the chemicals in the gun?
Can you dilute any? Yeah, you can dilute any chemical that you want. That is like not. I use it straight because the Total Interior Cleaner is a ready-to-use product. It doesn't need to be diluted, but you can pour it in and dilute it. I would say, you know, just dilute it 50-50 if you want to dilute the Total Interior Cleaner. But what will happen is the Total Interior Cleaner is something that, because it's ready to use, it's at optimal strength to be most effective when you're cleaning. And so I tend to just pour it in there. Like at my house, I take home gallons of Total Interior Cleaner, and I either fill a bottle of it like this. I'll refill my bottle so I can just use it on the go, because I have kids, so I get a lot of food products on my seats and things like that, and I use this to clean that. Or if I need to do a deep cleaning, then I'll take the gallon, I'll just pour it into my interior cleaning gun. And listen, because I dial it back and dial it up so much, I tend to always have a decent amount of cleaning solution in my gun anyways. So then I'll just, you know, once I'm done, I'll just pop this off and set this in my shelf. And then the next time I come back, I'll put it on. And then when I feel like I need, you know, when I get sort of down to this 300 mark, which this is 600, 400, 200. Once I get to 300 or 200, then I fill it back up to either 600 or 500. But I'm not overly technical about like how much solution goes in here, but I definitely don't dilute it down. I would say if you are going to use another product, if you're going to use leather and interior cleaner inside the gun, again, it's a ready-to-use product, but you could dilute this one as well, 50-50. But I'll just say I don't recommend it, because our products that come as interior products, we don't have any concentrated solutions. They're all just ready to go, ready to use. So depending on the strength that you want, you know, I would either say Total Interior Cleaner is a little bit less strong of a cleaner than leather and interior cleaner. This one just is there to kind of cut through more nastiness. But the one thing I will say, and why I like using Total Interior Cleaner in the gun, is if you get it on the plexiglass here of your instrument cluster or the nav screen or your windows, the Total Interior Cleaner is really great at cleaning glass and nav screens and plexiglass. It's just a better product to wipe away things. All right, so this, when you use it on a nav screen, let's see if I can even demonstrate that right now, is I'll spray, this is leather and interior cleaner on the nav screen. Take this and wipe it. It's just a little bit streaky. I don't know if you can see that, Chris.
Yeah.
Right? But if I use Total Interior Cleaner, which is in my gun, get this. That's Total Interior Cleaner. And I wipe this down and finish it. It finishes perfect. So Total Interior Cleaner was developed as an all-around interior cleaner that was also made to be used on glass or nav screens. So Total Interior Cleaner is, listen, if you haven't used it, try it. And I guarantee if you try it, it'll become your new favorite interior cleaner, because it's kind of it's a utility player, as we say in baseball. It's like it can do everything. You know, it can even clean carpet if you need to do that. All right.
MJ says, off-topic question, but is the new formula strip wash safe on convertible tops, convertible windows, trim, plastics, etc. if it gets on it?
Yeah, definitely. Strip wash. MJ asked, is strip wash safe on convertible tops? And would you say like trim and things like that?
Yeah, convertible windows. Trim,
yeah,
plastic.
yeah. The new strip wash is definitely safe on all of that stuff. You know, but I think personally for me, I tend to use strip wash mainly on paint. If I was gonna end up, it's just a little bit too much. Now, here's the other thing: I have access to everything, like all the time, so it's a little bit different for me. But you know, when you're cleaning, yeah, strip wash is fine. What I do recommend with a convertible top with strip wash is maybe foam the paint first, foam the convertible top last, and then if you have a cockpit brush, which the cockpit brush, I could run in and grab one, but the cockpit brush is mainly for cleaning interior stuff, right? It's like a shoe polish brush kind of. That is the best thing for convertible tops. You don't want to use a wash pad on a convertible top because it lints all over it, and then it's really hard to get off. So when you foam down a convertible top, you take the cockpit brush and use that to lightly scrub the convertible top, and then again, you just use your garden hose or your pressure washer to rinse it off, and it makes it look really great. And in fact, probably the strip wash is going to be really good for it, because if salt content or anything like that gets stuck inside the convertible top, the strip wash will help clean it a little bit better. So yes, safe for all exterior surfaces.
How do you clean Alcantara?
How do you clean Alcantara? Alcantara is sort of actually, this is a great tool for Alcantara. I wish I had it in this car, but Alcantara is a unique material because it's like suede, right? It's leather, but it's sort of the fuzzy side of leather. I don't even know like how you describe it, but the thing about it is it has these tiny little fibers that stick up. The best thing that you can do for Alcantara is to take a clean cockpit brush and brush it through as much as you can, like using a vacuum, like one of the wall-mounted vacuums that we sell, and a cockpit brush, and you just brush it through and vacuum it up. The more you brush Alcantara, the more new it's gonna look. Now, I would say this interior cleaning gun works really well for that, because you can use the solution in here, but you can dial it back so much, and you can use the compressed air. That less moisture on Alcantara is better, because if you put too much moisture on it, those little fibers kind of knot together. It's called pile up. It creates these little piles or little like balls, and then you like pick those balls off, but essentially they go like this, and then when you take that off, it makes the fibers even shorter. So your suede, your Alcantara gets even shorter and shorter and shorter, and you don't want that. So brushing those fibers through, using the compressed air with like no with barely like any solution coming out of this. Like again, just dial it up like a quarter. If you need to use a solution that maybe you get a stain or a coffee stain, you could use Total Interior Cleaner, dial it up maybe a quarter. So you have, like here, I'll show you how much is gonna come out of here on the screen. Just like barely a little bit. See that? Use that to get just a touch of moisture into the Alcantara, and then brush it through, and then when you take your towel, you just dab it up like this. All right? You don't want to scrub Alcantara like this because it will scrub the fibers together. So brushing it. Here's the thing. I know a lot of Camaro owners deal with Alcantara, like the steering wheels Alcantara. A lot of car manufacturers have Alcantara. Porsche, right? Your Alcantara steering wheel, like I get so nervous when I drive those cars after detailing. Usually Alcantara steering wheel has sort of either it's wood grain here. You can see this section. It's like between, what would you call this, Chris? Like 1 and 4 almost. Noon, 1, maybe 2 and 4. 3 o'clock's here. There's usually this section that is either wood grain or a different material, carbon fiber. And then up here is Alcantara and down here is Alcantara. I tend to always hold the steering wheel of an Alcantara steering wheel right here because I don't want to get it nasty up here. It's nice to feel it, but like this. But every time I drive the Alcantara car, if I know I put my hands up here or down here, I have a mini cockpit brush with me. And as soon as I'm done, I just brush it through. Brush as much as I can. Because the more that you brush it, the better the fibers are going to look. So I really want to do, Adam and I have been talking about doing a video on Alcantara. We've been talking about it for a really long time, and I just need to get to his house to do that because it's a really good video, and we have a lot of great products that actually work really well for that. So now the other thing with this interior cleaning gun, because I'm using compressed air, is the boot for your shifter. Look at this, Chris. You can see how much nastiness is inside here. See that?
Yep.
You stay right there if you can see it. I can take this and just blast. And if anything, I'll dial this up even more to get the, there we go, get the solution in there. Like so. And then take my towel and wipe it up. The thing that I like about the interior cleaning gun is that since I can regulate how much solution is coming out, you know, I can do a lot of cleaning without product just pooling up inside of here and just wasting my towel. You know, the more saturated your towel gets with the cleaning solution, the more streaky your interior gets when you're using it. And then you have to switch your towel and keep going. So I tend to always have 2 towels with me as well. This one's starting to get very saturated with product because I'm spraying solution into this and wiping. So a lot of times I'll spray, wipe, because I want to cut through this as much as I can.
Especially use detail spray in the interior cleaning gun.
Can you use detail spray in the interior cleaning gun? I don't recommend it. The reason why is because detail spray is definitely intended for the exterior of the vehicle. Detail spray has wax and some silicone in it. The silicone is what helps make things shiny. It's what helps create lubrication when you're using the clay bar. So silicone does not belong on the inside of the car. If you make things shiny on the inside of the car, especially your dashboard, it will reflect off of the windshield, and then it's hard to see while you're driving, especially when you're driving into the sun. So keep detail spray on the outside of the car. Use detail spray for quick detailer, so spray and wipe, especially if you're at a car show. Use it as a drying aid after you're done washing your car and you're gonna dry your car. Use it as a clay lube, all right? So you spray it on, use the clay bar, and use it as something to rehydrate your polishing pads while you're polishing. Those are the 4 main things you use detail spray for. I will say the only time I use detail spray on the interior is when I do my final wipe down after I've fully washed my car. I will open my doors, spray 1 spritz of detail spray on the interior windows and wipe them down, but I will not put it on my leather or anything else. I want to avoid getting silicone on leather and interior type stuff. All right. So I'm just gonna keep cleaning this. I have another really good area where we can use the interior cleaning gun, and that is in these vents. All right. And I actually brought some of these with me because this traditionally is like what we would have used to clean the vents. By the way, the interior swabs, have a knife or have have a knife or have some scissors because it's the hardest package to open in our whole line. That is no joke. Thank you, Chris.
No worries.
So interior swabs. So before the interior cleaning gun existed, these are the things that we would use to clean the vents. So what I like to do is take these and you'd spray them. Here, I'll just do it like right here so you can see. Spray them with a cleaning solution. Ideally, I'd probably do total interior cleaner, but it's inside this. And then you take this and you rub this on your, I don't even know what you call these. I don't know if they're called louvers or what, but essentially the things that control the direction of the air, the HVAC system for your car, your vent slots.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then you can just take your towel and sort of even it out, wipe it down. And looks great, right? Love that. That's incredible. Now, actually, Chris, can you walk around and come to this one? This one is like the worst I've ever seen, maybe. Dude, I just love cleaning cars. This is my favorite. Just making things look perfect. Now this one, very dirty. See that? And the thing about, so the one that I did over here, I just showed you guys with the interior swabs, was like mildly dirty. It wasn't nearly as bad as that. So it's easy just to take this and kind of run it through really quick. This is like more of a quick cleaning job with the swabs because I don't have to do a ton of work or blast too much stuff out of it. Right? So interior swabs on these just cleans them really easy and makes it look brand new almost. But the problem is there's certain nooks and crannies in the side that I can't necessarily reach perfect with the interior swabs. And once these get overly dusty, you kind of end up moving dust around and then you have to switch, you know. Can be a little, not really a hassle, but interior swabs are more for quick, fast jobs of interior. Now this one that's extremely dirty, I would like to use the interior cleaning gun. And again, I have, this is 0 solution coming out, that's half, this is 3/4, and that's full blast. I'll do 3/4 on this one, and I'm going to use the fibers of the interior cleaning gun here to not only, I'm going to blast this out, but I'm also going to use this to brush out as well, like that. Nice, quick and easy. And then I'll take my towel, dry towel, wipe this down, and look how fast that, for how dirty this was, it's just much faster to kind of get this done. And I can get this in more of the corners and the nooks and crannies. It's gonna blast it out, make it look awesome. All the while making it super clean. All right. How's that look, Chris?
Much better.
Looks way better. Now check this out. I don't know if you can see, but down in here where the steering wheel connects underneath the instrument cluster, I can see a ton of stuff in there.
I can see it.
Now with this in here, I can't get my towel in there to wipe that off. So what I'm gonna do is take the interior cleaning gun, turn the solution off, and I'm gonna so what I'm gonna do is point this outside of the car, and I'm gonna point it at my hand. And when I pull this, I'll be able to feel the solution because there's still solution kind of in this section. Now, once it's just air like that, now I can go in here and we can try. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but I'm gonna just try to blast that out as best I can. Didn't work very well. So that means I need to use some solution in there, and I'll just have to shove. I'm gonna try my, actually, let's just use an interior swab to see if we can reach back there. Oh yeah. Interior swab definitely reaches back there. And guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use the power of that interior swab. I'm gonna put the towel around it like this. And now I'm gonna stick this back here. The interior swab back there with the towel on it. And wipe that down. And that looks much better.
We have 2 off-topic questions.
Yeah, off-topic questions. Let's go.
Can I dilute Adams Polish's tire shine to make my product last?
Oh, that's a pretty good question. Somebody asked, can I dilute Adams Polish's tire shine to make my product last? They're probably talking about making it last longer in the bottle so they don't have to like keep buying it over and over and over again. You can definitely dilute tire shine, and actually if you dilute tire shine, it will kind of mild down the shine of tire shine. So if you want it super shiny, then use it as is, because tire shine is intended to give that like really high gloss look. But if you water it down, maybe cut it 50-50, you might be able to get more of a, I don't know, graphene tire dressing look. It's not gonna last as long once you cut it down because it's not gonna be full strength with the silica that's inside there, but it will still give you a good, nicely dressed look of a tire. Maybe not as shiny, which might be a good thing, you know? So yeah, I mean, realistically, any of our products you can dilute down. Just realize that anytime you dilute something down, it's going to alter the performance of it, whether that's longevity of protection or the look of something you're using, like tire shine. You know, VRT is another great one. VRT is a cream product, but oftentimes I want to dress my off-road tires that are really hard to dress with a cream product, because cream product, you have to put it into an applicator, then rub it on. And if you do that to an off-road tire, it goops up in all the aggressive tread block. So what I want to do is be able to spray VRT onto my tire. So I dilute VRT 50-50, 50% water, 50% VRT, and now I can spray it. And now when I spray it, I can spray it evenly into all the tread block and then even it out. And now my tires have a really jet black matte look from VRT, but it's not crazy shiny like tire shine. So yeah, you can dilute any of our products, but like I just said, it will alter the performance or longevity of it depending on what product you're using, you know? Any other? I'm just gonna keep cleaning while I answer questions because
Says,
I'm having too much fun.
Off topic, but what's happening to the D line? Honestly not sure what that
To the D line.
Pro line maybe?
I think maybe they're probably talking about the Delta line, the ceramic Delta line.
Oh yeah.
Carmen said that?
Yeah. Carmine.
Well, Carmine or Carmen, not sure, but Carmine's on here all the time, by the way, which is awesome. You know, the Delta line, so when Adams Polishes started selling ceramic coating, we sold it in our standard Adams Polishes bottle, and then we graduated the ceramic line into something what we called the Delta A line. And the reason why we called it the Delta line is because the logo sort of had a Delta look to it. It's kind of this like triangle as the A.
Yeah, the Greek letter.
Yeah, the Greek letter Delta. But anyways, there's a bird mocking me out there. Anyways, so what happened is then the Delta line became like a really good ceramic line, but it was sort of confusing because it wasn't in the standard Adams logo. So a lot of people saw it and they're like, what is that? Is that a different company or this and that? And guess a little bit of brand confusion, which is fine. I actually really liked it because the Delta line had three different types of products that were optimized for ceramic coating. So you had the products that had a black label, and the black label ones were ceramic coating. It was our spray coating and our standard ceramic coating. Then you had a white label product that there were only two products in that. There was surface prep and tire or trim cleaner. And those were to prep before you put the ceramic on. So the white label would be first, then the black label would be second, and then you had in the Delta line gray labels, which those were the maintenance products for the black label. So I think in our minds of the people who developed that, it made a lot of sense. But like once it went to the public, it was like, this makes no sense at all. And so we tried to work with it a little bit, and then graphene hit, not probably 2 years after we released that Delta line. And graphene was just so much better than the standard ceramic that it was like, standard ceramic was like, we're over it. It's kind of like when you move on from like a girlfriend or something, you're like, hey, it was fun, but like graphene is the one now, And so now graphene is definitely dominating our ceramic line. I mean, I don't think I've used a non-graphene ceramic since the new stuff has come out, which was about, what, Chris, like 2 years ago maybe? So yeah, the Delta line, we're kind of like letting it fall into the shadows and eventually discontinuing it. I think we've stopped producing it completely. There's still like a couple bottles of it left, but yeah, it's just now surface prep went from the Delta line. Now it's in the standard Adams A logo bottle. So it's just kind of how it works, a lot of big businesses do that, because you want to test something out, you want to try something, and if it doesn't work, that's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's just you want to move on and make sure. I think like our goal is just to make sure that we're giving our customers what they want and the most effective product, So if the graphene line is a more superior product than the standard Delta line ceramic coating, then that's what we need to be offering, because it's just better performance, better gloss, better longevity. So that's kind of how it rolls.
Carmen or Carmine did say yes, I meant the Delta line, thank you.
Okay, cool. Well, you got a long answer anyways, Carmine, so you'll never get a short answer from me. Yeah, see, this is the thing with the interior cleaning gun. This just had like sand all inside here. And after blasting that out and using the fibers of the interior cleaning gun, I was able to really get areas that are a little bit tougher to just clean with like a standard towel and spray, How's this looking, Chris?
Good.
Here's the thing. I know that interior isn't necessarily like the sexiest topic for us to talk about, but I think for me, just to give you a little bit of insight, like I was never an interior cleaning guy, and in 2016 I did a video shoot with Adam in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we like rented a really cool house, and I was all excited to do the washing segment and all the foam gun and all the stuff. And then we did all of that, and then we got into the interior portion of it, and Adam explained it so well and changed my whole perspective on interior cleaning, because interior cleaning just always felt like a nuisance to me. It never felt like, I always felt like I spent so much effort and energy on doing the interior, and obviously it looked good, but I was like worn out after. And he started talking about it in different, like sectioning off, like he likes to think, well, him and I now both like to think about your car in fourths. You have like your cockpit here, you have the passenger area, and then you have both back seats. And if you, like he says, section off, like do the cockpit first, because it's the thing that gets the most dirty. So focus on the steering wheel, focus on the instrument cluster, focus on the door, and just, use a lot of product, wipe it down, use the cockpit brush to agitate, and then wipe it off. And once I started sectioning it off and being able, like, I could just focus on this, I didn't have to use this cleaner and go all the way around, then go all the way around the car again, then go all the way around the car again to dress it and everything. If I just focused on one thing at a time, it ended up making it more enjoyable for me. And now interior cleaning is one of my favorite things to do, because the transformation of having a dirty interior to a really crisp, clean interior, just the way it feels, the way your car smells and everything, it is a very noticeable transformation. And there is nothing better of driving your car when it's perfectly clean, and then you get out and your car is perfectly clean, washed. You know that everything is dialed on your car, you know? So I try to, you know, sometimes interiors get dirty quickly, and sometimes, you know, you can keep maintaining it for a longer time. But once it gets to a point where it's just really, really dirty and nasty, I'm like, it's time to do it, because, you know, having a clean interior is it's like having a clean house. It just feels better, you know? No clutter, no stuff hanging around. You know, you get out and you're like, wow, this feels like a brand new car, you know? And that's the thing. When you go shop for new cars, granted, you see the outside of the car, and probably the color is the number one thing you see on the outside that you're sort of particular about. But then it's when you get in the car, the experience of driving it, you know, you're literally connected to the car, to the road. Your hands are on the steering wheel. You're controlling it with your feet. You know, having a nice, clean interior that looks brand new, it just feels premium and feels awesome, you know? And there's, I'll tell you this too, I have a 2008 4Runner. There is nothing cooler than having the most dialed interior, and someone gets in it and they're like, this is a 15-year-old car? And you're like, yeah. They're like, what the heck? What do you use on this thing? Like, have you never driven this? It's like the best compliment you could ever get, you know? I just love that feeling. Now, I know my carpets are dirty, but I have these all-weather floor mats. I'm gonna leave it right here. If you guys wanna see how to clean that, I will do that right now. But I'm gonna just continue. I'm gonna get on, well, actually, here, let me just show you this really quick. So we got everything nice and clean now, but I don't know if you can tell, but it looks just like a little dull to me. All right, like we did the cleaning, it looks a little dry. And this product, Leather Interior Cleaner, will dry out whatever you're working on at that time. All right. Now, if you're using
Total Interior do that too?
Total Interior Cleaner does it a little bit, but not because, so Leather Interior Cleaner has a little bit of alcohol in it to really break down the stuff that you're cleaning, the dirt and the grime and the food product. So the little bit of alcohol can dry out the leather or whatever you're working on. Total Interior Cleaner, not as much, but Total Interior Cleaner is not as powerful as this product when it comes to deep cleaning a car. So no matter what, I would say if you use Leather Interior Cleaner, you need to use this product after, which is Leather Conditioner, okay? Because if you dry out your leather, you don't want to keep it dry. You want to start feeding it moisture.
And it's bad for the leather over time, right?
Yes. Yeah, you want to keep feeding this as much moisture as possible. So Leather Conditioner, which is a sprayable leather conditioner, and I actually have, this is the old applicator. There's a new applicator that comes with it. I just couldn't find one. The new applicator is a little bit better, but I'm just going to use this one because I want to show you guys this. But you take the leather conditioner and you spray it into the applicator, and then you apply this. You'll see it goes on pretty wet.
And do you use it just on the leather?
You use it on any like sort of hard surface. So leather, vinyl, plastic, rubber, fake leather. Yeah, you can use it on everything, essentially. Now I probably sprayed way too much, clearly. Okay, but now I'm going to start spreading it out to other areas, which it will then dry out the applicator, and then I can come back and even this out. But that definitely looks better. It's not as dull. It's a little bit richer color, richer like black color. Now, here's a quick tip, because I'm not perfect. I don't do this perfect every time. And with the thinner formula of leather conditioner, like a lot goes a long way, or a little bit goes a long way. Okay, like this is still like really wet looking, right? Maybe not up here. It's sort of drinking it in up here where our hand goes the most. Probably the most dry up there. But if you end up overusing the product like I just did, you can just take a dry edgeless utility towel and just even this out on the areas where there was excess. And it just evens it out, makes it look amazing. Now I know for sure the next time I spray this in here, I don't need to, it's just like one spray like that. We'll take this. And I'm now putting it on the plastic where the instrument cluster goes. You know, I think the thing too about leather conditioner, not only, it has a lot of natural leather products in it, leather care products in it, like lanolin, which is a really fancy word for pig fat. That's like the best thing to put on leather, especially for an all-natural product. But it also has some UV blockers in it, you know, to, ooh, I didn't clean that part. Hold on one second. Just want to get this. Actually, sorry, getting back to leather conditioner, it has UV blockers in it, and that's a really good thing for leather and plastic, because what happens when plastic gets exposed to a lot of UV exposure, it will start to fade the plastic. And leather, it starts to dry out and then it starts to crack. So not only is the leather conditioner beneficial to leather, but it's also very beneficial to plastic and vinyl and things like that as well. Dude, I cannot wait to drive this car. Now, I will tell you this: if you have leather interior on your car, after you use leather conditioner, it will smell like you have a brand new car. The reason for that is this has a leather scent to it. If there's anybody on here watching, Mark Dressel, I'm sure has used this. Comment and tell them what this smells like. It's one of our most, when people smell this, it blows their mind. They're like, wow, how did you do that? Just like such a premium leather smell, like brand new car leather. And after you use, like if you use leather conditioner consistently, every time you get in your car, it smells like a brand new car. And that's one benefit I love about this. Now, I will say this, because there's always two sides of the coin. I tend to not use leather conditioner on my 4Runner because I don't have any touch of leather on that car. I just have hard vinyl and carpeted upholstery. So what I like to use on that is we have a product called Leather and Interior Dressing. It's a matte dressing, but it has a lot of UV. It's kind of the same characteristics as this, but it has no scent whatsoever. And so with the no scent, it dresses the interior and helps protect from UV rays, UV exposure. But it doesn't make my non-leather car smell like leather. I don't want my 4Runner to smell like leather. I want it to be consistent with what it is. And so leather and interior dressing, I think is what it's called, is a product I use for that. So just a quick tip on that.
Nathan says, Ken vouch, conditioner makes the vehicle smell showroom new.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's like one of the best things. We also have these things called liquid air fresheners. It's like, I'll be honest, when we were developing that product, we almost called it car cologne because it's like it's a scent for your car, and there's a leather one in there. So you can also You know, if you want to just boost the smell of leather in your car, you can take that liquid air freshener leather scent and really enhance the new car smell of a leather vehicle. I'm probably going to finish up here in a second. Is there any other questions you guys have? I did kind of a quick thing today, and you know, I used, you know, if you guys caught me here doing an interior cleaning job like this here at Adams Polishes or even at my house, these 3 products, this guy, and this, I think I could get it to stay. This with the total interior cleaner on the inside. These are probably what I'm using the most on my interior. Now, this is to do like a cleaning. This is to do like cleaning. Now, this is sort of one of those things where you talk about like detailing. To me, is sort of 2 or 3 different phases. All right, detailing, you have getting something right or correcting it, which like on the exterior of your car would be like paint correcting type of thing. Then you have protecting it, which is like, what do you do to lock in that perfection you created? And then number 3 is maintaining it. Like, how long can you maintain that perfection and make it look amazing? So this part right here is like getting it right. This is like getting everything clean and nothing on there that you want. Then this part is like the protecting, adding moisture, keeping it looking good, right? Feeding it so you don't get cracking or fading and things like that. Kind of like with your exterior, it's like you avoiding getting swirl marks and fading of your paint, things like that. And then the maintaining pieces of it, then you're using interior detailer, all right? So you have total interior cleaner, you have interior detailer. The cleaner gets it right, the detailer maintains it. Think of interior detailer as the detail spray for the inside of your car. The reason why I would say use interior detailer instead of detail spray, again, detail spray should not be used on the inside of your car other than the glass, but interior detailer, so the reason why you don't want that is you don't want silicone on the inside. If you're using stuff on here, you want to feed it moisture like leather conditioner, like lanolin and oil and stuff like that, that's really going to help protect this and feed it moisture. Interior detailer not only has like a touch of a cleaning agent, it also has a conditioner in it similar to leather conditioner, just not as strong, and it has UV blockers as well. So interior detailer is just such a much better product to really maintain all the work you just did to get it right with cleaning and conditioning it. So these 3 products are what I'm using to get my stuff right again, right? And then I always have this in my door, no matter what. You can stay right there, Chris. Yeah, but I don't think you need to. But I always have this in my door, which is interior detailer, right? So then when my car gets a little dusty, I'll just take this product and I'll just spray it on and wipe it down really quick. And this is like, again, a quick detailer type of product that you just spray and wipe down all the stuff that you just did to make this right.
And we have a bunch of scents.
Yeah, and there's like 4 or 5 different scents. This one is the one that's probably the most popular, eucalyptus mint. My favorite scent is called cedarwood. It's kind of a sweet wood smell, which I think is really cool. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You know, a lot of the stuff we covered today with the interior cleaning gun and other products is to get your products back to looking amazing. And then interior detailer is the thing that's going to help maintain. Now, I would say, like, we're kind of in summer now. I definitely, on this car, there's a lot of sunscreen because my wife and kids are going to the pool a lot. My wife's a teacher, so she gets the summer off with our kids. So there's sunscreen all over this car, especially in the back where my kids are. Total interior cleaner is going to be the best. that leather interior cleaner or total interior cleaner is going to be the best products to remove sunscreen that has been um, caked onto your interior. Now I'm gonna say one last thing. All right, the one last thing I will say is, as you can see, come to this side, Chris. Now, granted, this hose is used throughout the warehouse all the time. If you are at home and you have your compressed air unit and you have a hose like this, after you're done, before and after you're done cleaning your interior, what I highly recommend is there's two options for this. I don't know if we have any in there right now, but Adam sells a multi-purpose wipe. They're like they're like the tub of towels, right? Cleaning wipes. We sell those. Use those, okay? Watch that video. It's on our YouTube, here on our YouTube. Look up the cleaning towels video. It's like the tub of towels, okay? After every time I'm done detailing, whether it's polishing, whether it's washing my car with my hose, I take those cleaning wipes. I take one out and I wipe my hoses down and make them clean again, because I don't want those touching my car or anything and getting them dirty. I don't even want it touching my hand and getting dirty. So I don't have the cleaning wipe with me right now. So what I would do is take the leather interior cleaner and I would saturate one of these towels. You can even use an old crappy towel if you have one. And as you're putting this away,
Could you use like APC? Or...
You could use APC if you want, but these are the products I have with me right now, you know? So I would go through and I would take this and I would wipe this down the best I can, because here's the thing, I was just dragging this all through my interior and it's just nastiness going through all my interior, you know? So I don't want this, you know, making more work for me as I'm cleaning my interior. So I would just go through, and I think part of me too is just the more that you take care of everything that you're using for detailing and everything you own, the more premium the experience is altogether, you know? Going through and cleaning your hoses like this is just something I feel like if you wait to do it, you know, 2 months down the road, it is just like this is just a terrible experience. My towel is getting wasted. Like, I don't even know if I would try to clean this towel after. I'd probably just throw this towel out because it just is so gross to me. Because who knows what's on this towel right now.
But if you stay on top of it.
But if you do it every time, you just have one of those Adams Polishes cleaning towels, a tub of that in your garage, you can just grab that and do this every single time you're getting ready to put this away. Now, look at the difference between a clean hose and a non-clean hose. It's just, for me, it's a peace of mind thing that every time I use this, I know even if it touches my interior, I am not worried about it. I could care less because I have clean stuff, you know? So I think an extension of keeping your car clean and keeping your stuff clean all together. I mean, I even clean, after I'm done washing my car, I foam cannon my buckets and I hit it with a wheel cleaning brush and I rinse it all off because I want my buckets to look new all the time, you know? I have buckets from when I first started Adams Polishes and they still look new, you know? So I don't really want, and this is not a great representation of who we are, but I don't want this, you know? Just nasty dirt hanging out on the buckets, you know? So just keep that in mind. It's just something that I'm like, it's like a pet peeve of mine. So anyways, thank you guys for watching today. You know, I hope that the explanation of the interior cleaning gun and the products that you use with it was good, and I hope you guys learned a few things. You know, again, Total Interior Cleaner, I would say, is the best product to go inside your interior cleaning gun, and use that dial. You don't always have to go full blast with the product coming out of the interior cleaning gun. Dial it back to 50% or even 75%, or just dial it back to 0 and just use the compressed air to, you know, get the dust out of your car. So make sure you're using every aspect of that tool to be the most effective at what you're doing at that time, you know? And then remember, leather interior cleaner, the most aggressive cleaner that we sell. And if you are going to use it, put the leather conditioner on after to really feed the moisture and reduce the chance of your vinyl or your plastic fading on the inside. So, you know, remember, we do this every Wednesday, 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and it records and posts it to our YouTube channel. So if you go to the Adams Polishes YouTube channel, you can always watch all of our past live videos. You can explore our videos page that has every video we've ever posted on there. Check it out, learn some new stuff, and I will see you guys next week.